Good day, good day, good day, everybody. This day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be exceedingly glad in it. I am back to spread the word again. And I'm just grateful. One, one. Go ahead and share. This is why, I had to continuously read. Um, and I also encourage everybody else to read because it says this. It says, period, point blank. So then faith comes by hearing and hearing of the word of God. So guys, when I get there, share the word not only with you all but my family and stuff like that. That is one just building my faith, right? So when I read, I even like to read out loud so I can hear the word literally as it says. Faith comes by hearing the word of God. But two, study statistics. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the statistics wrong on this, but I believe statistics say when you write something down, you increase your memory by 30, 40%, so 20 to 40%. And then when you teach it to somebody else, anywhere from like 50 to 80%, you increase your memory. So that's why I'm here today. Just again to spread the word that I'm continuously learning and just to build my memory and build my faith up. So this is the verses that we ended up covering. Well, before I get into that, I want to share the fruits of the spirit, right? So when as a follower, as a believer of Jesus Christ, it's like way that we should conduct ourselves, and there's ways that we should not conduct ourselves. So these are the fruits of the spirit, and how we should conduct ourselves, and these are spirit fruits of characteristics that we should not be promoting. All right. So I had it up. Holy Spirit, recent search. So really, I need to show the full passage here. All right, so the fruits of that are of the flesh, which are not of the spirit, right? Starting from 19. Flesh. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, um, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, reveling, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past. These are just, what I'm saying? These are actions, characteristics that we should not be displaying. Going down to 22. But the fruits of the Spirit, which are of God: love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And really, what I want to hone in today is on the spirit faith. The fruit says faith, but it's really faithfulness, right? Um, so when Jesus returns, when he returns, like he's gonna see who has faith. And that faith is not necessarily as in belief in God, belief in Jesus, but like faith in is he's trying to figure out who can he have faith in, right? Who is still faithful in all that they do, right? So we'll go ahead and share that verse with you too, because so I'm not making up stuff. So again, here we are. I gotta reference the word, what I'm saying, just so y'all know I'm not making up stuff. Um, so long story short, there was once this woman who was very persistent in asking this unjust king um to get justice. And to end that off says, I tell you, he will see that you get justice. So that king gonna make sure that woman get justice and quickly. Sorry, God's gonna also make sure that we have justice. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Again, so that's what the faith that I'm talking about, not faith and just have faith in Jesus Christ, but not who is a believer, but who can Jesus trust in, right? Who is being faithful to complete whatever it is they do. Case in point, Paul in Second Timothy says, I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, and I have kept the faith, right? So that means he was consistent and persistent to complete something, to do something until its completion, right? So this type of faith is not just faith in Jesus, but completing what you started, completing what you set out to do, right? So it's so many times that it's people that believe in Jesus, they're following him, and then, after a while time goes by, then they stop, right? Those people have not kept the faith. But hey, that's on the grand scheme of things. But as in on a much smaller scale, right? We can be faithful in all the things that we do. Are we faithful in our routines, our morning routines? Are we faithful with our spouse? Are we faithful with what we do at work? Are we faithful with our workout routine? Are we faithful in our business or whatever it is? Are we faithful in this trading? Are you faithful to follow your plan? Right? There's so many things that we can be faithful exactly where we are right now. God meets us exactly where we are. We don't have to go million miles away and you do something extraordinary. No, like God meets us exactly where we are, currently where we are, and He gives us, what I'm saying, the ability, the willingness and ability to do any and everything through Christ who strengthens us. Right. So, proceeding on forward, right? Why we're speaking about faithfulness, faithfulness, right? Faithfulness produces, um, faithfulness precedes fruitfulness, right? So when we are faithful, then we can begin to produce certain type of fruits in whatever it is that we're doing. And example, if you are faithful and what I'm saying, brushing your hair, you're gonna, what I'm saying, you're gonna start to see that you know what I'm saying, you have, like, if you're brushing your hair every day and you got those waves coming in, you're gonna produce the fruit of having waves in your hair. You know what I'm saying? It's compared to someone who is not faithful in brushing their hair, who's not faithful in putting their do-rag on at night to keep their hair, what I'm saying, nice and flat. They will at some point, what I'm saying, they're gonna have good days with wavy, days where it's not so wavy, right? But when you stay faithful in whatever it is that you do, that's when you can begin to have fruit, right? So let's even dial it back. First, you gotta have faith, because right, faith is this fruit of the spirit. So when we have faith and we keep that faith, then we end up becoming faithful. And after faithfulness, after being faithful in whatever it is we're doing, then we get to produce sustained fruitfulness, right? Like it's cool to show up and be a present spouse, to be a present big brother or a present friend once every blue moon, right? But to continuously be able to be a friend, a partner, or a parent that pours into others, that gives, right? That comes from being faithful, which comes from having faith. So we got to be faithful. We got to have faith, right? And then be faithful in whatever we have faith in. Sorry, God. And I got to have faith in God. If we have faith in God, then we need to be a person of faith. Then we're going to be faithful in whatever it is that we do, right? Because that is fruit of the Spirit. And then in us being faithful, then we get to produce sustained fruitfulness. It's okay. It's like going to the gym once, what I'm saying, once every beginning of every new year, right? Of course, you're not going to have the abs if you just only go at the beginning of every new year because you have New Year's resolutions. No, when I when you continuously show up to the gym, whether that's 3 days a week, 2 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, and continuously work on your abs, and just keep it at abs, Carlos. You work on your abs after being faithful to doing that, then you can produce some fruit. Again, we got to get out of this microwave society where everything is instant gratification, right? Of course, it's not good. You're not going to see the fruit of a six pack immediately. Sorry, I am in the car. You're not going to see the fruit of a six pack immediately. No, you have to be faithful in doing that and showing up to the gym and continuously to put in the work in. And then later down the line, you get to see that fruitfulness, sustained fruitfulness of being faithful. And oh my goodness, like it might not be, you know, as Bishop said this week, the faithfulness should be the new sexiness, right? Because that's something that you can build on. If someone who's showing up and being present every time, you can that can be that's foundational to producing some fruit. But if you know what I'm saying, you're not showing up for yourself, you're not showing up for the gym, you're not showing up on whatever it is that you're doing, then hey, God can't work with you. You can't work with yourself. No one else can work with you because you're not showing up. So faithfulness, we got to be faith. We got to have faith. We got to be faithful in what it is we're doing, and then in being faithful, then we get to have sustained. We get to see the fruit of sustained faithfulness. So my goodness, let's just hold on to that and let that resonate, and you know what I'm saying, stick with us. Quick intermission.